Hello. Let's see. Alright. All seems to be working. How are you all? Right. So good. Alright. So last time I did kind of a fun sketch. It's been a rough I would say it's been a rough year, but nonetheless, here I am. Let's draw something fun. Hopefully you enjoy it. Feel free to ask questions if you want to. Yeah, about the stuff I do or whatever, it's fine. You just wanna comment, it's cool. Right. So last time I did this drawing, I actually did 3 different drawings. This is the final one, which I think it could be better, but all in all, I enjoy how it looks. Like, it was closer to what I wanted to make. This is the first attempt I did for this. It wasn't as successful. Yeah, this is completely out of proportions, and the other character is like too close. So yeah, I don't like it, but it's a good example of how when you do a rough sketch, you can set up the idea fairly quickly and then clean it up in whatever way you want to do that. And this one I did at first. I kind of like part of the design. I don't like the pose. It's kind of a weird pose. Um, could be better. Anyhow, all right. What I was thinking of drawing today was just a maybe a bust. And let's see. Dun, 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 dun. All right. You know what? Hmm. Nah, forget it. I was gonna put music, but every time I try to, it just it's a whole thing. So I'll just leave it as is. Come on, you have to point that way. Yeah. Um, I'm thinking what pose do I want to do? Because see, I could actually do a little bit of a rough here first. So I'm thinking, should I do something like that, or I wonder if you can let me open the camera thing so I can zoom in and out. I don't particularly like that stays like super far away. There you go. That's a little bit better. So I'm wondering if I should do something like that. Something like so. Or try to do something more dynamic. Like have the character like breaking the pose. Of course, throwing out of frame. Great. It was very arcanish pose. If I add the Del, it's almost Jinx, is the name? Chicken scratches. Uh, we do try to follow the steps of Kim Jong-gi, but he he was incredible. Really hard to to attempt what he did every day. I was so good at it. Um, I always have kind of this. I think is I've mentioned it before. Kind of a blockade. Uh, like I tend to have this sort of blocky tendency when I'm making a pose, and I've been trying to change that. Maybe something about the approach I use for posing. That I'm overthinking it maybe. Uh, that's a little bit better. So I guess this counts as warm up. Kind of like this pose, but yeah, that's better. That's way better. I had this teacher that actually two different teachers that mentioned that if you're gonna do um, a human figure, just exaggerate the legs in comparison to the rest of the body, and you're most of the time you're gonna be fine, even if you exaggerate a lot. Maybe this is too much, but the thing is, you can always kind of change it a bit. It's mainly about the length. Yeah, something like that. Anyhow, whatever. Alright. How about your random drawings from before? Way before. Well. Just a second. My knee is itchy, which is weird. Alright. Let's just do a simple bust. Simple. Simple, sure. Oh, I forgot. I was like, oh, I have this thing. Yeah. See? This is great. I need another one. Just to hold the other side. I need the other one. Yeah. Okay. I think somebody, I don't remember who it was, but was asking me about confidence in line. And practicing with markers or pens is a good way to me. I don't know if I answered the question during that stream. I think I tried to. I don't remember. I was probably too tired. I find it um, I think certain things are not for the internet. Hmm. Maybe at some point I'll talk about this. If I get monetized, I'll probably talk about it. But until then, I'll leave it as is. Also, if you haven't, consider subscribing. It helps me a bunch. It's completely free for you. I I go live Mondays through Thursdays, and I talk about drawing and art and I try to share my experiences as an artist. I've been working on this field for quite some time. So, yeah. Depending on where you're watching this from, whether it be YouTube, TikTok, or the other one, YouTube, TikTok, Kick, and which one? Twitch is the other one. And subscribing helps a lot. So, greatly appreciate it. I don't think I can do better than what I drew right now. Today, I mean. There's always room for improvement for everything and different things. That's chicken sound. Is this way, if I don't like the shading, I can change it up. If I want to switch it up to the markers, I can. Come on. Come on. No, not using that for that. Different task. Different task demands different tactics. So today is a stream 140. So yeah, it's kind of nice that I kind of stuck with it so far. And it's been challenging, but hopefully I can continue to grow and improve, and in any way, at the very least, entertain whoever watches me do this kind of thing on the internet. That's the what you can hope for, I think. I have some really old drawings. I have some sketches that I showed a sketchbook that I made, but I had more, and I think they they got left behind. I couldn't bring them with me here, so it's kind of a bummer, but it's just life. There's only so much you can bring on a luggage. Like, I think we got one or two bags each. I don't remember. It was some time ago, but it was definitely a challenge to cross almost an entire continent just with all your life in one suitcase or couple suitcases. So being an immigrant is not easy. Not for everybody. Definitely. There's some people that I don't know. They go through rough patches. I think we all do. if you're an immigrant. Uh, I don't like how this is going, but I feel it needs more. More is more. Tend to have kind of this thrashy style, and sometimes is easier to control than other times. I don't like super clean stuff. Like it looks to me it looks kind of surgical or something. Sterile is the word. Like it has no life to it, like AI stuff. But am I too close? Probably. I wonder if this is. I need to check something real quick. Why does it look like this? Oh my goodness. I'm going to switch this up. Um, I'm going to switch it up. I'm not liking that. Shouldn't look like that. Or maybe I'm. Let me check. How does it look for you, for anyone watching this? Let me open this here. That looks terrible. Why does it look like this? What if I hit that? Still looks like trash. That's no bueno. That looks better, I think. Why do I do this? My goodness. Does that look better? Well, I can only tell after I finish this because, yeah, I have no other way. Anyway, sometimes you think you did something and maybe you didn't do nothing. Anyhow, the only way to move forward is by moving forward. I think I'm good with that. It could be better, but what? Now it out of focus and something I didn't want it to. Oh my goodness. Is it cool? Hello. Is it too much sharpness? Maybe. I like how that looks. I do. Alright. So I'm at 50 minutes. I think. I don't know. Do I want to do another? I'm going to go ahead and sign this, and hopefully maybe I'll do another sketch quick. Here you go. Alright. There it is. Yeah. I like this one. Yeah. It's all rusty. Did I mess up the paper? Right. Maybe I'll add something here so it doesn't mess up. But other than that, it seems to be good. Yeah. Kind of tired, you guys. Alright. Do I want to draw on this sketch or do I want to use another sketchbook? Which one? Which one? Where should I go with this? Yeah. I actually really like how this one turned out. It has only taken me years to get to this point. Only that, years and years and years and years of practice. And anyhow, okay. Frankenstein. Hi, thanks. How are you? I think this marker is way better to kind of get gestures right. All good, all things considered. Do you like drawing? Frankenstein character. Master. You have no motivation at the moment to draw in general, or that's a little bit broad, but I not every time I draw I have motivation. I just I just know that it's something that I need to do. Um, like the way I think of it is that I've been through this enough to know that if I'm not doing something like like this, um, I'm having a hard time. So I rather just, even if it's for an hour or so, like I do for the streams, uh, to draw a little, you know. The Van Helsing version of Frankenstein I kind of enjoyed because he like had this energy all the time that he would like bolt monsters with. Kind of cool. See if I can make a decent werewolf. I can live with that. That's kind of a decent enough werewolf. Just changing subjects all of a sudden. Trying random things in the middle of the night. I saw somebody talking about like to do better female portraits, to try to stick to cat features, cat proportions rather. This is kind of interesting. So it seems to work. That's interesting. Messing up at the last second. Wasn't planning of making a over an hour stream, but think I need to keep my channel in check as well. I have an idea for another video that I'm going to make. See how it turns out. Still don't know yet. I haven't filmed it, but I do have the script for it, so, or the idea. Anyhow, so all in all, bunch of training drawings there, and got this little sketch. So I think it's been a productive night. Yeah. Anyhow, if you haven't, consider subscribing. If you have any suggestions, they're appreciated. Yeah. I'm 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 thinking of changing the time for the stream, because at this time a lot of people are not, they're on the I'm going to sleep mode, like I am as well. So yeah, I have to think about that a little bit. But anyway, if you regularly watch my stream, or you haven't, and this is the first time you find this random dude drawing, consider subscribing. You can find all my previous streams on YouTube if you want to check those out. As I said, this is number 140, so you have a bunch to see if you want to have something in the background while you draw and see me struggle drawing my things and fighting the stream. Well, you can find that. Uh, anyway, I have an illustrated deck of cards that you can find on my website. I mention it during my streams. I have a Redbubble shop with a bunch of my illustrations on merch that you can get, and I also have foam backgrounds on my website as well. Hello. So I'll be ending the stream soon. So if you decided to join, thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time. As I said, I go live Mondays through Thursdays, and yeah, you can check it out on my YouTube channel if you want to see the previous ones. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope to see you next time. I can find my music here. Until next time, bye.